winning the level.
Now your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Until the hour, time for Storm Watch. Happy 4th of July. If you're doing some traveling, we're going to update you on any severe weather that may get in your travel route and kind of put a damper on your afternoon. But in the meantime, we are certainly keeping an eye on the tropics. It's that time of the year where tropical weather could certainly flare up, and we do have a few developments to tell you about. Let's take a look at the climatology for July and where the areas are more favorable to produce some type of organization because, hey, the water temperatures are warming up, not only in the Gulf of Mexico, the Bay of Campeche, but also much of the Atlantic also beginning to warm up. A couple of things that are not favorable for development, of course, as temperatures, water temperatures below 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and our westerly winds. We're looking at our tropical winds aloft here, and you'll notice a very strong westerly direction here. Those westerly winds kind of shear off the tops of any convection that might wander away from the coastal areas of Africa and head into the Caribbean Sea. Well, we are looking at a little bit of difluence over the Caribbean. Look at this. You see that? We are going to see a little convection, a little more impressive, and that means maybe some rain showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two across Haiti, Puerto Rico, maybe even Venezuela. We are going to continue to watch the Gulf of Mexico. You know, it was a bit of a surprise yesterday when right before an area of low pressure became a depression, it moved inland. But certainly, you see this cloud cover here? Certainly it is tropical in nature. We have high pressure as a dominant weather maker in the southeast, and if it were not for the fact that this area of lower pressure did move inland from the Gulf of Mexico, we would not be seeing the torrential rain that we've been getting all the way from San Antonio and not quite into Wichita Falls. But certainly this moisture is welcome rain for many areas. Lots of farmers and ranchers have been suffering under drought conditions for the past few weeks, and so it's welcome rain with the exception of the floodwaters. We are seeing too much rain in some areas. If you're doing some traveling, maybe in Brown County, over towards the Concho Valley, in the San Antonio vicinity here too, we are looking at some areas that have been just inundated with moisture in a short period of time, and so 4 to 5 inches, and yes, we do have some flooding with this tropical moisture. But right now, not looking at a whole lot. We are seeing our sea breeze kick in across the peninsula of Florida and down around Dade County. We are seeing a few thunderstorms that have been severe, but it's not widespread. We could certainly use some widespread moisture over Florida. Looking a little bit closer again, right before making its way inland, we saw this area of lower pressure just about declared as a tropical depression. It was very well organized. We saw the circulation, the circular bands of moisture. We're not seeing anything like that right now. It's kind of just a glob splattered out here across the heartland of Texas. From the Concho Valley, here's San Angelo. You'll see a few rain showers and thunderstorms. If you're going, say, from San Angelo to Abilene, you'll have a tough time of it because visibility at times will be poor. And again, some of these thunderstorms are really putting coming down, a lot of rain, and the whole area of moisture is slowly drifting to the north. So watch out if you're going to Wichita Falls. Rain not widespread there yet, but it could make it there. And we are beginning to see more and more of the showers in and around the Dallas and Fort Worth metro areas. And so things at times will be a little bit on the dreary side here throughout the day today. Those rain showers should be on and off. Let's take a look out towards the Caribbean. It is tropical weather time, and we're taking a look at that convection I showed you. Many of the winds aloft have just kind of sheared off some very impressive cloud cover. You'll notice how it's kind of strung out here across the Caribbean, and still survived a little bit though. And as it comes a little bit closer to an area where we do have some diffluence aloft, that might be favorable to see this cloud cover in here strengthen a little bit. So we'll watch out for any additional convection in this area. Looking at it from a different perspective, a little wider out. Here's the Leeward Islands here, and we're looking at cloudy skies over parts of Puerto Rico and Haiti. And also you'll notice that we're beginning to see a little more cloud cover collect in and around Venezuela at this time. Not a lot out here to come across. The waves that do develop over the continental area of Africa are very impressive and have been the past couple of weeks coming off the coastal area of Africa. But once we get into the coastal area where the water temperatures aren't very favorable, they just kind of fall apart. Just lose all definition of any type of constructive organized convection. Mix into the intertropical convergence zone a little bit, and then boom, nothing. Let's watch it again. Here it comes. Then nothing. Okay. Out towards the Pacific, we may have something. Watch this little area right in here. See how it holds together? Not a depression yet, but as we head into this afternoon, maybe the Hurricane Center will issue an advisory that will say whether or not this one is actually a depression or not. Kind of organized. Back home, let's take a close look. As I said, high pressure is the dominant weather maker for the southeast, and if it wasn't for the fact that we had that area of lower pressure come in across Texas, we would not be seeing so much rain. But many areas, ranchers and farmers really glad to see all the rain. Frontal boundary draping across the northeast today. New York, eventually Boston, eventually Philadelphia. Rain showers just in time for your fireworks. Well, that's not good news. We'll have more details on the 4th of July forecast next.
Folks in Florida aren't celebrating this Independence Day as raging wildfires continue to burn. An update on conditions there and nationwide just ahead on Weather Center.
How can Geico save you money on car insurance when you buy from us directly? We cut out the middleman. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Am I on? Geico Direct could save you hundreds of dollars on car insurance. Result?
Smaller bill.
Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more.
Over 30 years ago in our laboratories, eye care was revolutionized with the introduction of Visine. Today, our latest advance, an even better Visine. New Advanced Relief Visine. Its unique formula gets the red out, plus more. This computer image of an irritated eye simulates how Advanced Relief Visine spreads the cooling, soothing, refreshing relief of 3 moisturizers. Discover how good your eyes can feel with new Advanced Relief Visine. It gets the irritation out.
We should greet each and every day like a gift that's come our way. Share the rich Folgers brew and make someone's day brighter too. That aroma mountain grown. Pass it on, set the morning's tone. Feel the warmth and say, let's unwrap this day. The best part of waking up is Folgers in the car.
Stop. You may never buy a window cleaner again.
Why not?
Because now there's an all-purpose cleaner that does windows, too. New 409 Glass and Surface. Great on greasy messes, streak-free on glass.
I like that.
New 409 Glass and Surface.
Class, this is Charlie.
You get to watch television? It's not just television, it's cable in the classroom. And it's not just watching, it's an adventure.
Cable in the Classroom is commercial-free and delivered to schools free by cable. Volunteer to help your school build a video library. Thanks to the Weather Channel, Cable in the Classroom comes home.
Do we have to go back for lunch?
Now your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Northeast is enjoying nice weather, but changes are on the way. Find out if it will affect your 4th ahead on Weather Center.
Pain keeping you awake? Now the effervescent power of new Alka-Seltzer PM gives you complete relief. Alka-Seltzer Speed plus a gentle sleep aid. The 100% solution to nighttime pain. New Alka-Seltzer PM. Sleep well.
Now your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
We hope you're enjoying the 4th of July holiday. For most of the country, the weather has really been very cooperative, very pleasant, but showers are beginning to move into the bigger metropolitan cities of the east. We'll check that out in a moment. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jill Brown.
And I'm Lisa Moser. We'll tell you if the weather is going to affect that 4th of July celebration you're planning this evening. We are taking a look at the heat that may bring some problems for the South again today, this afternoon. It will be another day that will bring trouble for parts of the Florida area of Flagler County. 45,000 residents of Flagler County in Florida can return to their homes. The county was evacuated yesterday as wildfires threatened their homes. Fires are still burning there, but firefighters have gotten a break from some of the wind that was fanning the fire, and today they are securing some of the hot spots.
We want to get our people closer to the fires now, get more water on the hot spots, put out the stumps, put out the logs, get the snags down, all those things that become a source of fire when intense conditions return.
We are looking at Florida officials that are getting some help from firefighters around the country. About 100 firefighters are from Northern California and are now in Florida to help battle the blaze. The group, along with C-5 transport planes, left Traverse Air Force Base yesterday. Each plane was carrying 8 to 10 much-needed fire trucks for the area in Florida. Looking at the regional radar, we do have some afternoon thunderstorms. A few of them have been severe. They've been lining up a little bit scattered across the coastal areas from Daytona Beach into Jacksonville, and they've moved a little further inland. But because they're not numerous and widespread with lots of heavy rain showers, they're not really helpful. As a matter of fact, sometimes they hinder the fire effort by fanning some of the flames. The fire is going to, draw on that air, and that's not real good. We're also looking at a number of thunderstorms across the western coastal areas of North Florida, and if you're in and around Tallahassee, maybe going down to Perry or a little bit further to the south, you'll run into some of these thunderstorms traveling to the north. It's just low-level convergence. Looking at the southeastern regional radar, a frontal boundary draping across the Ohio Valley. Ahead of it, a number of thunderstorms. Jill will tell us more about those in the southeast, but I want to point out this nasty thunderstorm cell in Chatham County. Let's go to another source. You'll notice that we are looking at Chatham County. The severe thunderstorm warning was issued a few moments ago, and then we had a tornado warning. Well, that tornado warning has been allowed to expire just a few minutes ago, but look at the thunderstorm cell. It is still in the area of Savannah. So if you're in this vicinity, please do seek shelter. The Doppler radar is indicating that this could possibly be tornadic, traveling to the south at 20 miles per hour. Let's take a look back. Again, a number of thunderstorms that have been strong today across middle Tennessee, another wave that will come in towards North Alabama and North Georgia. Just because you don't see a thunderstorm, but you hear the thunder, please remember to go inside. Lightning could still come into your property or come into your vicinity, and that's not good to be outside during a thunderstorm. What we're looking at with the southeast satellite imagery, the circulation of our high pressure area here. And you'll notice not massive widespread cloudiness across Florida, neither do we have it across the southeast. Where we do have a large area of cloudiness, it's associated with some tropical moisture. If it wasn't for this area of tropical moisture, we wouldn't be seeing the soaking that we are currently getting across the heartland of Texas. Between San Antonio and Waco, much of this afternoon we have been seeing moderate to heavy showers and some thunderstorms embedded. Some of the thunderstorms have made their way into the Dallas vicinity, but for the most part, we haven't seen much of an effect. Just cloudiness, still very warm. Temperatures have been in the 80s, and occasionally we get a break in the cloud cover. The sun gets through, and then the temperatures soar back up again closer to 90. So occasionally watch out. Many of the showers will just be moderate to occasionally heavy, but for the most part, the heavier rainfall is to the west of the Garland, of the Waco area. And if you're doing some traveling, again, we are experiencing some flooding problems from the rain being in and around the San Antonio area yesterday. High pressure, the dominant weather maker, that's keeping any well-organized mechanism from bringing some very heavy and much-needed rainfall towards the Florida vicinity. But looking at the forecast, okay, some good news for some folks. We are going to be looking at high pressure set up towards the Great Lakes here, and that's going to mean some better weather. Jill?
Okay, thanks, Lisa. It has been a wet 4th of July in parts of the Midwest, and the rain is beginning to move to the eastern seaboard. That could put a damper on your evening festivities in D.C. and New York. We'll check that out in just a moment. First off, let's take you to St. Louis. You had a little bit difficult time this morning where you got battered with strong thunderstorms, and today it's been rain most of the day. You had a period of moderate rain this morning. About 1.5 inches has fallen since last night. Areas west and north of the city are under flash flood warnings. Now you see here on our national radar that we still do have some rain, but not much of it in Missouri. And we'll see some scattered showers, it looks like, coming up perhaps later this afternoon. We might have a few thunderstorms returning. Threat of severe weather, pretty minimal actually, it looks like today. In parts of western Nebraska, Wyoming, we might have a few severe thunderstorms up into Montana as well. So we'll watch for these areas. Meanwhile, in the Northeast, we're not so much concerned about severe weather, but we do have the threat of some rain, and that's going to put a damper on this evening's festivities. As mentioned, we're concerned about a little bit of rain coming in toward New York City. This looks bad, I know. We have some thunder showers here south of New York, some rain coming into Philadelphia, down through Baltimore and D.C. Actually, I know that while looking at this radar, you think it's pouring rain, but we have just a few reports of light rain. So if that's any consolation, it is light. And it looks like Boston, you might just be in luck, and the rain won't quite get there by the time you're ready to watch the fireworks this evening. But this is a good idea. Once you finish seeing that grand finale, be ready to jump up and run for the car, because this rain is certainly headed in your way, and how soon it gets there is still a little bit in question. On Interstate 77 north of Charlotte, you'll run into a few thunder showers here, as mentioned, and as Lisa had told you earlier, we do still have some severe weather right around Savannah. We did have a tornado warning that has expired, and you can see all across the south just a scattering of thunderstorms here and there, and we'll see a little bit more of that. We've had some severe reports in central Tennessee with even some damaging winds. Winds have gusted strong enough to remove the roof from one service station in Rutherford County. So don't discount this line. Could see some nasty thunderstorms in here, and they're headed down toward you in Chattanooga and down toward Huntsville. Of course, one of the big stories today, as Lisa had been telling you, has been the heavy rain, and you can see here southwest of Dallas where the yellow and the orange is. If you check our legend, that's 3 or 4 inches of rain. So our areas of concern for today in central Texas with the heavy rain and the potential for more flooding. In the northeast, more of a nuisance than anything else, the rain coming through. And of course, down into Florida where we have had more thunderstorms today that could mean more fires. Now, if you look at our forecast for tomorrow, you'll notice that we do have the chance of more isolated thunderstorms in Florida. That rain in the northeast, don't worry about it. It's just during the morning hours, and then you should be fine to head back out around Cape Hatteras. A little surfing tomorrow should be no problem at all. Severe weather threat is definitely going to be out into the plains, and that actually will carry over.